What's good, guys, and welcome back to the Shots on Target podcast. My name's Jake. You are only joined by me this week as Phil's away for the next 3 weeks, and yeah, I hope you can bear with me for the foreseeable future, and we'll get right into it. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and share the podcast about, help gain some more traction, and yeah, let's get into it. And getting straight into it, we're gonna discuss the Villa Brentford game. Not so much the Villa Brentford game because obviously I assume you people have watched the game. You'll have known what happened. My analysis really isn't needed, but I do want to really touch on a force Unai Emery has turned Villa into. You know, in the game, probably up until the red card, you'd have probably said that the game favoured Brentford more. Brentford came into the game quicker, they were attacking more, they had the better of the chances, and just a silly challenge by Ben Mayers probably spoiled what could have probably been a very, very good afternoon for Brentford, but we're not getting into referee discussions in this game because they were pretty spot on. I do think the Ben Mee challenge, it's a reckless one. It's silly. It's too high for one. It is a red card, and the Boubacar Kamara one, while you can say he doesn't really touch him in the face, you can't put your hands on another player. It is violent conduct. I do probably think they got the wrong player for Martinez, just picking Maupay up off the floor by the scruff of his neck. So one of them were going to get a red card, and it just so happened to be Kamara. But before all the after the Ben Mee challenge, Villa started playing some very, very good football. A lovely ball back post and a bit of a goalmouth scramble, but Watkins can tap it home. Villa are playing some very, very good football. And as I'm recording this, they sit third in the league, tied with Liverpool on goal difference. And Unai Emery's got them playing some fantastic football. And I'm not looking forward to when Liverpool have to go play them at their ground, which I do think we have to do at some point. And yeah, it's looking all... it's looking rainbows for Villa. They're playing good football. Unai Emery has a system. If you look past over the last few managers with, I think, Dean Smith, with Gerrard, there wasn't a system. They didn't have, whether it was there wasn't a system or they didn't have the players for the system. But Unai Emery has managed to find a way to get the likes of Kamara working, who wasn't working when he first came in, really. It's got Ollie Watkins firing as a brilliant Premier League striker, and he's just got that Villa team looking a very solid, compact team. It's good to see. It's interesting to see because we've seen it last season with Newcastle, who were pushing top four, and we're starting to see it with more teams. Obviously, Brighton have fell off a bit as another team who were in and about top six. Newcastle obviously has started picking up points again after a bit of a torrid run, and obviously we're out the Champions League now. But seeing another team manage to try penetrate that top six and become one of the big six is kind of refreshing to see. As someone who supports a big six team, even so much over the last few years, it's really only been City. The big six just kind of falling behind. It is really refreshing to see. You see Chelsea dropping off a bit, United dropping off a bit. Spurs have kind of regained a bit of form while they had a bit of a torrid spell. But it's given the opportunity to the likes of Villa, to the likes of Newcastle, to the likes of Brighton to kick on. But a brilliant 3 points for Villa. A good performance for Villa all round. Probably helped by the red card. But for once, we can say that the referee got these. The referee and VAR got these decisions spot on. We will move on to the West Ham Wolves game. And I know Phil's going to be absolutely gutted the fact that West Ham have played well and he isn't here to give his 2 cents on it. But a fantastic result for West Ham. Obviously, a team that last week or last time out kind of got the buttons kicked in. It wasn't a very flattering result, the 5-0 against Fulham, but they had the game midweek against Freiburg where they looked very comfortable. They didn't look like a team that had 5 put past them and had a bit of I think it was a sickness bug that was going around the team that Moyes had come out and said. But yeah, they've come out, some absolutely lovely football, some very, very good goals. Kudus takes his 2 goals well, and Jared Bowen is a man on form at the minute, and he's just playing very well. He took his goal fantastically. I do feel for Wolves at the minute because, again, another VAR decision that was very, very tight is ruled out. Potentially what could have been a bit of a comeback, because I think at that point it would have been 2-1. And 2-1's always a bit of a dangerous scoreline. 2-0's always a bit of a dangerous scoreline because 1 goal on the back in it. And it just so happened that, Pablo Sarabia tapped the ball in. Very easy goal for them. And it's ruled off by just the thinnest of margins. It's the end of a boot that's offside. Again, I think them decisions are stupid. Phil won't care. Phil will be loving life. Phil, obviously being the massive hammer, only cares about the 3 points. But to be fair, all in all, West Ham, while they've not played massively well all season, they're having a much better season than they did last year. Obviously, a bit of confidence coming off the back of a Conference League win, like winning the competition, and then playing in the Europa League. It's clearly the more games is giving them more confidence. Although we don't want more games as football, well, we do want more games as football fans, but the players don't. But it's clearly helping them with confidence because West Ham are looking like a completely different team. Alvarez is playing well. Paqueta was amazing in that game. Kudus was brilliant, and yeah, it's looking very good for West Ham at the minute. Into the knockouts of the Europa League, can they go very far? It'll be remains to be seen with who they get drawn against. But they finished top of the group, which was, as Phil was saying, it's a very, very good thing. So they don't have to have 2 extra games and face a team coming down from the Champions League. And yeah, Wolves are not having a good time of it at the minute, are they? Obviously, they're out the relegation zone now. I think it's kind of set in stone, the 3 teams that are going down, and I don't think Wolves have a lot to worry about. But I feel for Wolves, a team that's not had their fair share of luck with VAR, a team that have played good football and have not really seen the benefits of playing good football yet. I think Gary O'Neill probably is the right man to take them forward. It's just, he needs January. He desperately needs January, and he needs a few reinforcements. Obviously, I think Jose Sar's out at the minute, so he's having to play Bentley. I know he probably want a few more defensive reinforcements. So we're gonna have to see what remains for Wolves. But if we move on to the big game of the weekend, out of what was probably a really disappointing weekend for football, there wasn't really many big results. You had the Man United draw against Liverpool. Yay. Obviously Newcastle returning to form, but there was one big shock this weekend, and it was City. Well, I say a shock because City haven't been brilliant this season. Obviously they languished down in 4th, but City dropping points again this season. They've conceded, I think, the most goals so far that they've conceded across full seasons. They're already on 20 goals this season for goals conceded. And I don't know where it's going wrong for Pep. Because obviously, he's got... Sorry about that. He's got what many would consider a super team. And... whether he struggled against Palace's low block, obviously they went 2-0 up, and it just seemed to run away from them. Mateta has a very easy goal. Defensively, that goal is very poor to give away. You know, the ball shouldn't run across the goalkeeper's front. Like, it's practically right in front of him. He just does nothing about it. And Mateta's got practically an open goal to score to. And then the penalty, which was a penalty, for once again, VAR get it spot on. It is a penalty. Phil Foden, I don't think, realises how quick Mateta is. I don't think a lot of people realise how quick Mateta is. Swings for the ball, misses the ball because Mateta's already gone. And just clatters him in the leg. There was one VAR decision that has raised eyebrows. Edison, how he didn't see red. I've seen City fans come out and say, "Oh, it's not denial of a goal scoring opportunity. The ball's going out of play." Look, it wasn't. For how far Edison is off his line, it's on the edge of the box, and he makes no attempt for the ball. The ball's already gone. Mateta's probably going to catch that ball, and he'll have an open goal to score. And he wipes the man out. And I'm pretty sure it gets away. Oh, no, he does get a booking. Sorry, I thought he got away with it. But how has VAR not spotted that that's a red card? Because it's an awful decision. You can't come flying out of your box, wipe a man out, and get away with it. Because essentially now what keepers are just going to do is they're just going to clean players out. The simple fact of it is that's a red card, and it's a howler from the referee and VAR to not issue that as a red card. Yes, he may be taking the ball wide, but Mateta's quick. Mateta's a very quick footballer. If he doesn't get taken down, he does probably score that. And the game probably turns on its head even quicker than, than it does from the goal later on in the penalty. And then they'd be facing 10 men, and they'd be facing, I imagine it would be Scott Carson or Ortega. So, I think Palace, while they'll be happy with the point, can probably feel a little bit hard done by with the decisions not going their way, other than the penalty, which was, as many, I think, agree, stonewall. And, I wouldn't say it's worrying times for City, because obviously January will come around. Kevin De Bruyne is back in training. And they'll spend money in the January transfer window. They always do, and they always bring in some sort of gem. Palace, on the other hand, though, a very good point for them, as they the team that are down the bottom at the minute, sat on only 17 points, and I think they will be happy with a draw. You've got Everton sniffing down your neck, who are on very good form at the minute with another win. You've got Forest, who are down there at the minute. Bournemouth, who are just above them, on good form. So any point that Palace pick up at the minute, Roy Hodgson isn't going to turn his nose up at. But yeah, not worrying, but concerning times for Pep Guardiola, with the amount of drop points and the amount of goals that he's leaking, and joy for Palace over a big shock at the Etihad as well. Yeah, and I do want to just touch on. I imagine many of you will have seen it. Tom Lockyer has suffered a cardiac arrest on the pitch against Luton. Us at Shots on Target, I know Phil, I know Connor, we are all sending our thoughts and prayers to Lockyer and his family and the Luton team. We hope he pulls on through. I know he was stable after the game. He was responsive, but obviously it is a massive concern, the amount of heart-related issues footballers are having at the minute. It's not nice. We've seen what happened to Eriksen. Alphonso Davies has obviously had his issues. Aguero being another one that was forced to retire. It's never nice to see, and we all send our prayers and hope he makes the fastest of recoveries, and maybe can return to football. I don't know what the doctors will recommend, but we don't want to see players retire because of this. We want them to have good careers. He's only 29. He's still young for a footballer. So we're keeping our fingers crossed here at the Shots on Target podcast. And yeah, this will be the last episode before Christmas. Obviously, a lot of games being compacted into the month, so whether there'll be a Boxing Day episode, I'm not too sure. But if there isn't, this is Merry Christmas for those who celebrate it. We thank you for the support you've shown us over the year. And that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Make sure you like, you hit the notification bell, subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave any comments of stuff you want to see in the future. We do read all of the comments, and we try to respond to as many as we can. And yeah, this is going to be it for potentially the rest of the year. We'll see what's to come, but I'll catch you guys in the next one.